What Brad Garlinghouse said on Fox News will astound you. We will discuss that. In today's video, we'll also discuss a ton of additional new XRP information. Cheers to Monday. I hope all is well with you. I hope your weekend was fantastic. Now let's talk about the news. I really appreciate you being here. Please hit like if you find any value in it. Please consider subscribing if you haven't already. Come on. Let's check the cryptocurrency prices this morning when you return. Check them out. They're higher overall. The Securities and Exchange Commission has concluded its investigation into the cryptocurrency exchange Ripple, which is the most recent, of the Trump administration's regulatory efforts in the digital asset market. Brad Garlinghouse, the CEO of Ripple, comes back with us to join me today. It's good to see you, Brad. I really appreciate you being here. It's wonderful to return. Good to see you. Well, congratulations on the SEC's action right now. What does this allow you to do? Thank you. Congratulations in many respects to the entire industry, I believe. As you are well aware, Ripple was one of the first cryptocurrency startups to face legal action from the SEC. At the beginning, we predicted that the SEC would be on the wrong side of history and breaking the law. To sort of prove that out and reach more than $150 million in legal bills, it took longer than we would have liked. However, we're overjoyed with the final result. It enables us to truly open up the U.S. market, which has been quite hostile, and has presented numerous challenges for the whole cryptocurrency business. Yes, without a doubt. And we observed how investors responded. Over the past week, XRP has increased in value. However, Brad, I'd like to know what you think Japanese banks might be planning to do in terms of XRP adoption. Before I played this clip, I had no idea we were going to discuss this. What do you suppose he will say? I mean, on Twitter, I've seen a lot of speculative content. Half of that is unbelievable. Isn't it? What will he say? Let's pay attention. When you look at international markets, can you tell us about Ripple's growth story? We were essentially shut out of the U.S. market after the U.S. government filed a lawsuit. Approximately 95% of Ripple's current clientele are financial institutions located outside of the United States. These are some of the biggest financial firms, which include payment providers you might not have heard of, as well as HSBC and BBVA. I believe that markets like Japan are still opening up. This is a huge market opportunity. Have trillions of dollars moving across international borders. The SWIFT network, if you will, still controls a major portion of it. Architecture is that. The technical architecture in question was created half a century ago. The time for modernization is now. That requires time, especially when the U.S. government is essentially stifling that innovation. However, that is currently changing. If you will, the Trump effect is significant. Asset prices reflect that, but the adoption of these technologies will also reflect that, yes. And I believe that when you look at Ripple's growth story, does it still originate from abroad? Do you think domestic interest in Ripple will alter in the near future? Excellent query. The domestic interest is undoubtedly changing already. We signed more agreements in the U.S. in the 6 weeks following President Trump's election than we had in the 6 months prior. Thus, these technologies are highly inventive. In my opinion, the integration and rewiring of the U.S. financial system will take 10 or possibly 20 years to complete. That applies to payments as well as the settlement of deals involving securities and maybe real estate. Therefore, I believe that this will unfold over a lengthy arc, but I also believe that people are underestimating the magnitude of the transformation that will occur when the United States is eventually liberated. And this year, you'll watch that continue to unfold. Keep in mind, folks, if you were unaware of this for a long time during the Biden administration, you would have received a Wells warning from the SEC if a bank, financial industry, financial market, or anything else dealt with cryptocurrencies. To put it simply, a Wells notice is a notification from the SEC that they intend to file a lawsuit against you. All right. This was the first live cryptocurrency market where banks and other financial institutions could finally use cryptocurrency in their payment infrastructure in addition to holding and managing it. Stable currencies will now be used for domestic payments on a far greater scale, correct? Domestic payments are simpler, they're less expensive. All these long rails are not necessary. Central banks, particularly those in the U.S., can help you with that. But that's where XRP truly shines when you go cross-better or FX. Recall that we will take all value that enters the chain, regardless of whether it is in the RLUSD stablecoin's value or if another bank chooses to establish its own stablecoin on the XRP ledger. Everything just became 50 million times easier if you saw my multiplier effect video. Reaching a $10,000 XRP doesn't require us to raise $580 trillion with just $5 to $10 trillion of real value on the XRP ledger. We can do this. I truly had no idea, so after seeing the video and completing the study, I became very bullish. And that's what's so fantastic about this. You are learning something new every day, aren't you? I think I heard about this a long time ago, but I didn't know enough about it at the time to accept it, after which I forgot all about it. Zach, it was like a dog with a bone, dude, and I had to just do it when Rector mentioned it. I needed to know more. I needed to know more. I have some follow-ups on that, man. We had to test what we were seeing, more testing, huh? We want to be certain that we know what kinds of multiplier effects are possible and what factors contribute to them. In an upcoming video series on my channel, I will explain everything to you. Now, let's resume the interview. Yes. Now, last week, President Trump gave a speech at the Digital Asset Summit in New York City. This is a video. Observe. You will contribute to the expansion of the US dollar's dominance. I can already see that the spirit that founded our nation is reflected in the fervor and enthusiasm of the crypto community as you create the financial future. It's fascinating to watch. It will take place in the United States of America, the United States of America. By working together, we can establish America as the world's cryptocurrency capital and unchallenged Bitcoin superpower. And the son of the president. Rather than becoming the global center of Bitcoin, I would prefer that America be the center of XRP. I sincerely hope that those close to Trump can help him comprehend the mathematics involved in using Bitcoin to pay off debt. Simply put, it simply will not occur. Okay, in the next 5 years, you might be able to pay down $1 trillion, but that's all. Someone needs to speak into Trump's ear if you truly want to make a difference and bring the United States out of trouble, and simply describe the basic math underlying a $36 million Well, you know what? There are 198,000 Bitcoin in the US. It doesn't intend to purchase any more. It currently lacks the funds to purchase more. To do that, they are developing a few solutions. However, we have 198,000 dots. If you intended to use 198,000 Bitcoin, or 37 trillion, to pay off the debt, do you know how much Bitcoin each one would require? Make a guess. Make a guess. Bitcoin is worth $186 million, $3.92 quadrillion in market capitalization. Someone listen to Trump and explain the calculations. I am aware that there are a few million members of the XRP army, and this channel is seen by 80,000 of you. There are linkages somewhere, someplace. Tell him, please. His pro-crypto plan, in my opinion, consists of 2 executive orders, creating a strategic Bitcoin reserve and U.S. digital asset stockpile, and enhancing American leadership in digital finance technology. Tell us what you think those 2 executive orders might accomplish, Brad. What other conditions must be met for digital assets to show stability and growth? In my opinion, the president has already used the phrase, promises made, promises delivered, in reference to what further we need to see. There is no doubt that the U.S. banking institutions will be unlocked. Financial students are now leaning in on banks that were quite apprehensive and anxious about working with crypto technologies or even just looking at them in order to assist their clients. And that is undoubtedly significant for the entire industry, not just for Ripple. Thus, he has undoubtedly lived up to the hype, and I believe that the U.S. will eventually begin to catch up to the global markets that are clearly leading the way. We need to invest here to see some of these U.S. companies succeed. Yes, and we have discussed this with the authorities.